Hey everyone, welcome back to Coffee Crime with Doncha. I am so happy you are spending your time with me today again. Before we start, here is your quick reminder. If you enjoy our chats, please take 2 seconds to hit that follow or subscribe button on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Leaving a 5-star review really helps the podcast grow, and I appreciate every single one of you. Today we are traveling to Switzerland again to cover a case from March 2009 that shocked the entire country. It involves the murder of a 16-year-old au pair named Lucie Trezzini. I hope I pronounce her name correctly. If not, I am so sorry and I apologize in advance. This case exposed huge failures in the Swiss probation system, led to national legal reforms, and sparked the creation of Switzerland's child abduction emergency alert system. Before we begin, here is your trigger warning. Today's episode discusses violent murder, physical assault, substance abuse, as well as a suicide. So if these topics are difficult for you, please skip this episode and take off yourself. Alright, my name is Doncha, this is Coffee Crime with Doncha and the case of Lucie Trezzini. So before we dive into this whole tragic story, let's talk about who Lucie Trezzini was. Lucie was born on Christmas Eve, December 24th, in 1992 in Canton of Fribourg in Western French-speaking Switzerland. She grew up in a loving family with her parents Nicole and Roland, and her siblings as well. Friends and family described her as a cheerful, open and really friendly girl with long blonde hair and brown eyes. In early 2009, she was 16 years old and she decided to move to German-speaking Switzerland to work as an au pair. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the term au pair. It's basically like a babysitter, but the au pair lives actually with the parents or with the family in home and is taking care of them. So she wanted to improve her German language skills and gain work experience before deciding on her future career. She kept in close daily contact with her family and friends back home in Fribourg. So on Wednesday, March 4th, 2009 was Lucie's days off. She took a train to Zurich to spend the afternoon shopping and talking on the phone with her friends, just enjoying the day. Shortly after 2 p.m., Lucie was standing near the Zurich main train station, and that was where a 25-year-old man approached her. The man who approached Lucie was 25-year-old Daniel. Daniel was an unemployed drug-dependent assistant cook from the canton of Aargau. He had a long history of lying, drug abuse, and violent behavior. Back in May 2003, when he was only 20 years old, Daniel attacked a former female co-worker in a dark parking garage in Baden. He wore brass knuckles under a glove and a black stocking under his jeans. He beat her brutally, smashed her head against stone slabs, and tried to strangle her with her jacket. She only survived by pretending to be dead. In 2004, the Bremgarten District Court convicted Daniel of attempted intentional homicide and severe bodily harm. He was sentenced to 4 years in youth facility called Arxhof. In August 2008, he was released early on probation under the condition that he submit to a regular urine drug tests and attend therapy. Instead of reforming, Daniel fell heavily back into cocaine and alcohol addiction. By late February 2009, he lost his job at the hotel kitchen. His landlord sent him an eviction warning, and his probation officers knew he was failing his drug checks. Yet nobody took action to put him back in custody. Instead, Daniel spent 2 months walking the street of Zurich. He approached at least 110 young women, pretending to be a professional model scout looking for girls to shoot jewelry and wellness ads. At least 14 young women agreed to go to his top floor apartment in Rieden by Baden. Unfortunately, Lucie became the 15th. So let's look at the exact timeline on Wednesday, March 4th, 2009, as recorded in court documents. Around 2:20 p.m., Daniel sees this 16-year-old Lucie outside Zurich main station. He approaches her and tells her he is a model scout. He claims a jewelry company is hosting a photo shoot in Baden and that she can earn around 500 Swiss francs cash on the spot. To look professional, he writes down her body measurements on a slip of paper. Lucie, of course, believes him. They brought the train together to Baden, arriving at around 4:37 p.m. and walked to his apartment in Rieden. Inside the apartment, Lucie sits on the bed and drinks a glass of a syrup. Daniel drinks beer and uses more cocaine. For over an hour, he pretends to set up a professional photoshoot. He moves a lamp, writes down her measurements again, changes his clothes, and pins a black sheet onto the wall as a background. Around 5:49 p.m., Lucie makes a quick phone call to call a friend. At the exact moment, Daniel decides to kill her. He later claimed he was desperate about losing his job, having problems with his girlfriend, and wanted to go back to prison. He walks into his office room, grabs a heavy metal dumbbell bar, and hides it behind his back. When Lucie stands up, he hits her repeatedly on the head with the full force until she falls unconscious. And then goes to the kitchen, gets a carving knife, and cuts her throat to make sure she is dead. After the murder, he cleans the knife and dumbbell bar, buys a bottle of alcohol, and goes to sleep in the same room next to Lucie's body. Hey guys, this is so sick. I just cannot fathom. So on Thursday, March 5th, Daniel drags Lucie's body into the bathroom shower to wash away the blood. He places a stocking over her head to stop the bleeding. He then packs a bag and spends the next few days sleeping at his girlfriend's apartment in another city. Meanwhile, back in Fribourg and Zurich, Lucie's family and host's family realized she was missing on Wednesday evening when she failed to return home. Police launched a search and Lucie's friends created online appeals to find her. Here is when Daniel made a critical mistake. After the murder, he took Lucie's mobile phone and used it to make several personal calls, like low-key idiot. Police easily traced the phone signal directly to Daniel. On Sunday, March 8th, police issued an official arrest warrant for Daniel. Officers went to his apartment, broke down the door, and found Lucie's body inside the bathroom. On Monday afternoon, March 9th, 2009, feeling the police closing in, 25-year-old Daniel walked into a police station in Zurich and surrendered. In February 2012, the Baden District Court tried Daniel for a murder. He was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment alongside an ordinary preventative detention. The prosecutor appealed, demanding a permanent lifelong detention. In October 2012, the Aargau High Court granted the prosecution request. However, the case went all the way to the Swiss Federal Supreme Court. In late 2013, the Supreme Court ruled that under Swiss law, permanent lifelong detention can only be applied if psychiatric experts confirm a killer is untreatable for the rest of their natural life. Because psychiatrists couldn't only state he was untreatable for 10 to 15 years, the court reinstated the ordinary detention. A civil battle against the authorities. So Lucie's parents, Nicole and Roland, filed criminal complaints against the Aarau probation officers for negligent homicide through failure to act. They argued that if probation officers had put Daniel back in prison when he failed drug tests and lost his job, Lucie would still be alive. While Swiss courts dismissed the criminal charges against individual state employees, the canton of Aarau reached an out-of-court settlement with Lucie's parents in 2017, officially acknowledging that serious administrative errors had occurred. The murder of Lucie Trezzini forced major charges across Swiss law enforcement. First, probation overhaul. The canton of Aarau integrated probation services directly into state administration. High-risk offenders are now evaluated by interdisciplinary teams of experts rather than a single probation officer. Number 2, child abduction alert. Thanks to advocacy from Lucie's family, Switzerland implemented a national emergency alert system in 2010. In child abduction cases, alerts are broadcasted immediately on TV, radio, digital highway signs, SMS, and today also through the Alert mobile app. On Thursday morning, December 2023, prison guards at Lenzburg prison found 40-year-old Daniel dead inside his cell. Authorities confirmed he died by suicide. When reporters contacted Lucie's mother, Nicole, she expressed a sense of relief, stating she was relieved that she no longer had to fear him ever being released back into society. Every year on December 24th, Lucie's birthday, her mother and close friends gather at her grave with cake and champagne to celebrate her life, her joy, and her memory. Lucie Trezzini's story is really heartbreaking, but the legacy her family fought for has actively helped protect children across Switzerland today through improved probation tracking and national emergency alerts. Now is your turn, guys. I would like to hear your thoughts on this case. What do you think about the probation reforms that came out of this tragedy? Let's talk in the comments. If you found this episode informative, please share it with a friend, leave a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or give it a thumbs up on YouTube, and make sure you are subscribed. Thank you so much for spending your coffee break with me today. Look out for one another, stay safe, keep your coffee warm, and I will see you and hear you next time for episode 11. Bye, guys.